right. Hi, Dean.
Hi.
Can you tell us a story about the pipeline you created for
Yeah.
CalTrans?
My name is again Dean Land. So many moons ago, when I was heading up the California Department of Transportation, CalTrans, I headed up the Special Recruitment Unit. And so, Special Recruitment Unit is that California Department of Transportation, CalTrans, we hire engineers. So we're the largest, CalTrans is the largest employer of engineers in the world. Let me repeat that. In the world, we're the largest employer of engineers. So we would, in a good year, we would hire over 1,000 engineers. So the challenge is that, unfortunately, the problem is that number one, we were quite honestly trying to recruit for a diverse workforce that's reflective of the diversity of the state. And so we wanted to hire, we focused on women, people of color, and but honestly, when you're trying to employ 1,000 engineers a year, it's not easy. So, but that was our focus. And the second dirty little secret is that unfortunately the state is not, we're uncompetitive in terms of the hiring, in terms of our money rates, so we cannot really compete, but then we would try and offer other benefits. But back to the story in terms of the model pipeline that I helped introduce, is that I helped introduce a continuum of innovative programs, and I should stop and take a breath and let me ask you further questions.
Oh, okay. So, Dean, thank you so much for taking your time to
Uh-huh.
be interviewed about this idea of a pipeline.
Uh-huh.
Because for me, I feel like it's a pipeline that's a virtuous circle, meaning it starts at education
Uh-huh.
and it ends at applying that education.
Yes.
And not only
Yes.
does it apply the education, it beautifies the state of California. What more can you tell us about how you started from creating the idea of recruiting engineers from like pre-K level up
Yes.
until like they graduated from college?
Yes. So, see, unfortunately, when you're trying to recruit alternative, how should I say, uh, alternative folks, and there's a better term which I should
Population?
use. Alternative population. So, in terms of trying to recruit women to become engineers, and Hispanics, for example, to become engineers, and blacks to become engineers, you got to start young. And so, which means that when we start young, we go into, because quite frankly, at the high school, it's too late. I mean, people are already channeled into what they want to be. So you got to start younger, like in middle school and even elementary. And as I was pitching the program to the state legislators, because they got to pass the law and they got to fund the programs, and so the legislators were asking me, Dean, wait, you are going into elementary schools? I said, yeah, we've got to go into elementary schools because women, they have skills, but they get, oh, you're a female, you don't want to go into engineering, you don't want to go into math, so they would kind of get what's the word? Discouraged.
Sidelined and discouraged.
Yeah.
Right,
So that they would be de-channeled, that's the correct word. So that's why we went into as young as elementary school, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, that's necessary.
Yeah.
So I taught at the pre-K level at Genentech, which is the biotech company, and we instituted STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics at that age, because that's where we get the kids to have a better understanding, but also interest. Because
Yes.
they do have the interest, however, they're not being channeled.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's why those programs we started young. And one of the programs that, so at the high school level, as you get into high school, we, CalTrans, we call the engineering deans at the colleges, say, hey, for the summer, your program typically is low, your enrollment is low. So as the engineering dean, will you sponsor having a engineering camp for high school students and maybe even younger? So, and we, CalTrans, will supply the faculty in terms of teaching students, younger students, how some engineering projects, like if you build a bridge of toothpicks, I think it was, and I could be wrong on that. How is that? It's fun, engaging the kids. But is that engineering? Yeah, that's engineering, building a bridge of toothpicks.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. We did bridge building with the roll of toilet paper, like the last piece of it, and it was like stunning. And now, mind you, this is me teaching pre-K level. I was sending my grandniece to summer camp for a private Catholic school in San Francisco, Sacred Heart. And she was doing the same project at her level. So people know that this is necessary, whether it be for male or female, whatever people of color population we're hitting. It's just that, like, I'll give you an example. Just recently, I heard an interview with, he's a French sociologist. And he was the reason why he noticed that the West is going to decline civilizationally, dramatically, partly because he looked at the engineering degrees that were coming out. And what he found was that compared to what is happening in China, there's so many engineering degrees coming out of China and Russia, Iran, all the BRICS countries. However, in the West, meaning America and Europe, it's mostly literature, it's mostly the soft arts, and that's where like the decline is happening. So they're noticing that like one can sustain a civilization, a country, whereas the other is like seeing a decline in its own population.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's all connected to engineering.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who's that French? I can't remember the French sociologist. Todd. Emmanuel Todd is his name.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and he usually gives interviews, and all his books are usually in French, but not in English. So I heard him in his first English interview. So he promises to make more interviews in English. So that's exciting. What you did was exciting too, because it's it's a landmark.
Yeah, and and as I mentioned, we at CalTrans, we developed a continuum of about a dozen programs. So that was just one program, and very quickly another program was in terms of we got the state legislature to approve a loan forgiveness program and a loan assumption program. So what does that mean? That means that yes, it's true. If you come to work as an engineer for the state of California, yes, the pay is not as good as the private sector, but you know what? We, the state, will forgive your loan. So your college loan, if you come to work for the state for a minimum number of years, or we will assume your college loan. So that's an incentive.
Absolutely.
That's an incentive.
Yes, to add to all the engineers we have for California.
Yeah.
I think I'm noticing lately a lot of TikTokers who are moving into California. They're like, oh my gosh, I never knew the state was this beautiful. And so they're all like starting to realize, like, wait a minute, there's something different about California. Yeah.
And so that's one of the questions, because prospective applicants would say, quite frankly, the state doesn't pay, but we say, hey, the state is very It's a big state
Yeah.
of almost 40 million people from the Oregon border to the Mexican border.
Yeah.
What do you like to do? Do you like the beach? Well, we can offer you a location at the beach. Do you like to ski? Well, if you like to ski, we can offer you a work location near the slopes. And do you like redwoods? We have redwoods in the northern part of so
Yes.
what is your environment that you are seeking? And
Absolutely.
if you want in your career, we can say, hey, we'll try. You work a couple years here, and then if you get,
Right.
we'll move you to a different area
yes.
for another, period of time, and then another area. So
Yes.
we offer that type of flexibility.
That is so awesome. I really love the story that you said because the school to prison pipeline sounds really like something we have to transform. It's a medicine, like
Yes.
poison to medicine.
Yes.
That's what you did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it was exciting.
Thank you so much, Dean, for your
Sure.
time. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.